Hello, dear children. Good morning. Children, today I am going to continue the fifth lesson, First War of Independence. So, all of you open page number 289 in your textbooks, children. I am going to continue your fifth lesson, First War of Independence. And in your previous class, you have learned trade and East India Company. You have learned about trade and East India Company's establishment of company rules. And we have completed till that even Mysore, by defeating Tipu Sultan in the Battle of Seringamapatnam, over a period of time, the British East India Company defeated the Marathas, the rulers of Awadh and Punjab. We will continue from last paragraph of the page number 289. The company also introduced several laws and policies like the subsidiary alliance and doctrine of lapse to expand their rules. So to expand their rules, the company has introduced several laws and policies. What are the policies? Subsidiary alliance and doctrine of lapse. Subsidiary alliance was introduced by Governor General Lord Wellesley. So, subsidiary alliance was introduced by Governor General Lord Wellesley. According to the terms of these alliance, Indian rulers cannot have their own army. So, according to the subsidiary alliance, according to the rule of the subsidiary alliance, Indians should not have their own army. Instead, they were protected by the company's troops. So, all the Indians will be protected by the company's army itself. This gave British complete control over the foreign affairs of that ruler. So, these subsidiary alliance rules gave the British a complete control over the foreign affairs of the rulers. Doctrine of lapse was introduced by Governor General Lord Dalhousie. So, doctrine of lapse was introduced by Governor General Lord Dalhousie, and this doctrine allowed the company to annex any princely state whose ruler was incompetent or died without a natural male heir. The Maratha kingdom, Jhansi and Awadh were annexed under the doctrine of lapse. So, the rule of doctrine of lapse was that to annex any princely state either whose ruler was incompetent or died without a male there. So, the Maratha kingdom, Jhansi and Awadh were annexed under this doctrine of lapse. Ruling the empire. When the British took control of India, they needed a plan to run it. So, they framed laws and planned the land revenue system. So, in order to plan to run the India, British have framed laws and planned the land revenue system, and they established the army, police, bureaucracy and judiciary. First War of Independence. The company rule was unjust and oppressive. The British had introduced laws meant only for their benefit. So here the company's rules were unjust and not correct, and the British has introduced all these laws that makes benefit for them. Many Indian rulers felt cheated because of the subsidiary alliance and doctrine of lapse. So, because of these two, subsidiary alliance and doctrine of lapse, many Indian rulers have been cheated by the Britishers. British land revenue policies forced farmers to grow cash crops for poor returns. This resulted in Bengal famine, the harshest famine in Indian history. It is also blocked the growth of modern industries in India and hampered the industries of Indian handicrafts and cotton textiles. Though so, many Indian rulers even felt cheated by the subsidiaries, and British land revenue policies also forced farmers to grow crops for low returns, poor returns. Okay, as unrest among Indians grew, they protested against the British rule. So, protest movements occurred throughout the 19th century in India. Some of the important ones were the Shantalal Rebellion, Indigo Rebellion in the year 1859, Pabna Uprising, Deccan Riots. So, Indians have protested against the British rule. So, protest movements occurred in the 19th century in India, and some of the important ones are Shantalal Rebellion, which was held in 1855, Indigo Rebellion in 1859, Pabna Uprising in 1873, Deccan Riots in 1875. Revolt of 1857. The revolt of 1857 marked a watershed. It was marked a watershed. What do you mean by watershed, children? An event marking a turning point in a situation. So, the revolt of 1857 is a turning point in our colonial history. It posed a serious challenge to the British Raj. Though there were general resentment against the British, the immediate cause of the revolt was the introduction of the new Enfield rifles. So, the cause of the revolt was they have introduced the new Enfield rifles. Rumors spread among soldiers in Calcutta that the cartridges of these rifles were greased with the animal fat. So some rumors were came among the soldiers in Calcutta that these rifles were greased with animal fat. This hurt the religious sentiments of the Hindu and Muslim soldiers. So this became the sentiment to the this hurted the animal fat hurted the religious sentiments of the Hindu and Muslim soldiers. On 29th March 1857, Mangal Pandey, a soldier in Barakpur near Calcutta, refused to use the cartridges. So, Mangal Pandey, he is a soldier in Barakpur near Calcutta. He refused to use these cartridges. As a result, he was executed. This triggered his comrades to revolt against the British. Later on 10th May 1857, a revolt broke out among soldiers in Meerut, and again in the year 10th May 1857, a revolt broke out among soldiers in Meerut. They marched to Red Fort in Delhi and declared Bahadur Shah Jafar, the Mughal emperor, as their king. Soon after, the rebellion spread to Kanpur, Agra, Allahabad, and many places in north and central India. So, later, on 10th May 1857, a revolt broke out among soldiers in Meerut. They marched to the Red Fort in Delhi and they declared Bahadur Shah Zafar, the Mughal emperor, as the king. Soon after, the rebellion spread to Kanpur, Agra, Allahabad, and many places in north and central India. The revolt no longer remained a sepoy soldiers' mutiny. The deposed rulers also joined the revolt because many lost their kingdoms, mainly under the doctrine of lapse. So, due to doctrine of lapse, many of them lost their kingdoms. So, disposed rulers also joined to this revolt. Some leaders of the revolt were Nana Fadnavis, Tanjia Top, Bakht Khan, Begum Hazrat Mahal and Rani Lakshmi Bai. Rich landlords and talukdars of Awadh joined the revolt because they too lost their land to the British. Even the rich landlords and talukdars of Awadh also joined the revolt. Why? They also lost their lands because of the Britishers. Poor peasants also rebelled because they bore the burnt of huge taxes. See, even they have applied huge taxes on poor peasants. The British used great force to suppress the revolt. The revolt ultimately ended when Bahadur Shah Zafar was exiled to Rangoon, now Yangon in Myanmar. This brought the Mughal dynasty to its end. So the Britishers used great force to suppress the revolt, but the revolt ultimately ended. Why? When Bahadur Shah Zafar was exiled to Rangoon. This brought the Mughal dynasty to its end. However, the revolt left a lasting impact on the British rule. In the year 1858, the Queen's proclamation brought India directly under the British crown. So, in the year 1858, the Queen's proclamation was brought India directly under the British crown. The revolt of 1857 was referred to as Sepoy Mutiny by the British because they considered it to be a rebellion by a group of miscreants. Indian national leaders, however, called it the First War of Independence. They cherished its memory as a fight for freedom from the British rule. They celebrated its leaders as martyrs of freedom struggle. So, the revolt of 1857 was a U-turn as Sepoy Mutiny by the British because they considered it to be a rebellion by a group of miscreants, and the Indian national leaders, they however called this revolt as the First War of Independence, and they cherished this memory that they has fight for freedom from the British rule, and they celebrated its leaders as martyrs of freedom struggle. So this is all about the lesson 5 First War of Independence. Children, once go through the today's video, and if you have any doubts you can ask me, children. Okay, bye children, thank you.